Hi, I'm Chris Wardlaw for CarGurus, and this handsome family hauler behind me is the 2019 Mazda CX-9. Mazda introduced the CX-9 for the 2016 model year and has made annual improvements to this turbocharged midsize three-row crossover SUV ever since. This year, the company has retuned the CX-9 suspension, improved the infotainment system, upgraded front seat comfort, and enhanced outward visibility. Naturally, these changes make the 2019 CX-9 better than ever. But is it worthy of your consideration? Let's go for a drive and discuss. Mazda sells the CX-9 with front-wheel or all-wheel drive and in Sport, Touring, Grand Touring, and Signature trim levels. Prices start at $32,280 for the Sport and top out at more than $50,000 for a Signature with standard all-wheel drive, a rear seat entertainment system, and other accessories. Destination charges amount to $995. My test vehicle's loaded up with Signature trim, extra cost Snowflake white pearl mica paint, the rear seat entertainment system, door sill trim plates, and a cargo mat. The window sticker reads $49,030. Who remembers that old Saturday Night Live skit where Billy Crystal portrayed a sleazy club rat named Fernando, whose catchphrase was, "You look marvelous, darling." That character often proclaimed that it is better to look good than to feel good, and that could apply to the Mazda CX-9. This SUV looks terrific inside and out, but it doesn't always feel that way. Outside, the CX-9 boasts distinctive, tailored design. It definitely needs the larger wheels that come on the Grand Touring and Signature trim levels to give the SUV better visual balance, but overall this is a great-looking crossover. Inside, the CX-9 looks like a typical Mazda, simple yet stylish. The driver faces a perfect set of gauges, the controls are laid out in a logical manner, and trust me when I tell you that you do eventually get the hang of the Mazda Connect infotainment system and its 4 different methods of operation. Oh, and both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard equipment for 2019. Signature trim includes this premium auburn color Napa leather, real Santos rosewood trim, genuine aluminum accents, and special steering wheel stitching. Everything, except for dealer-installed accessories, comes standard with Signature trim. This looks like a luxury SUV, doesn't it? That sets an expectation that some parts of the interior just can't satisfy. For example, when I lean on this split center console bin cover, it creaks like it will break. The power mirror control switch feels flimsy, and the new frameless rear view mirror feels loose too. And like every other midsize SUV you can buy, the bottom half of the cabin isn't nearly as nice as the upper half when it comes to materials. Plus, I just can't seem to get comfortable in the CX-9, even though Mazda has added front seat ventilation to the Grand Touring and Signature trim levels this year. The front seats are hard and flat, and they feel like they're too small for this size of a vehicle. The leather is supple, the seats and steering wheel are heated, the seats themselves are quite comfortable, and Mazda even offers a height adjuster for the front passenger seat. What's lacking here for me is bolstering, cushioning, and thigh support. Plus, I don't get this center console design. It sits really high in relationship to the seats, and it's wide enough that the wood trim is a constant source of irritation for my right leg. Yet, there's almost no storage available. The second row seat feels better to me, but the cushions are still too short. You sit up high with a nice view out, and the triple zone climate control system gives rear passengers control over their environment. Rear seat, side window sunshades are useful to parents of newborn babies too. The rear seat entertainment system costs an extra $1,795 and includes dual 8-inch screens with wireless headphones. Mazda says you can play a CD or a DVD, or use the SD card slot, the USB port, or the HDMI port to view content or play games. Or you could just get your kids' tablet computers, connect them to the Wi-Fi hotspot, and call it a day. I can't really see spending almost $1,800 on this setup. I'm surprised by the CX-9's third row seat. I wouldn't want to spend lots of time back there, but I fit well enough as long as the people in the second row seat slide up a bit. The head restraints are basically right up against the rear glass though, which makes me worry about what happens in a rear impact collision. Cargo room behind the third row seat is decent. Floor space is fairly generous for this segment, even if you can't stack things very high because of the slanted rear window. Fold the seats down and you expand volume from 14.4 cubic feet to 38.2 cubes. That's not a big number, but again, there's lots of floor space, which makes the area more useful. Fold all of the seats, and the CX-9 can carry a modest 71.2 cubic feet of cargo. That's enough for a family road trip, and Mazda isn't shy about making all of its safety systems available regardless of your budget. On the base Sport model, low-speed emergency braking, a blind spot monitoring system, and rear cross traffic alert are standard. An option package adds full-speed automatic braking, lane departure warning with lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control with stop-and-go capability, and more. All of that stuff is standard with touring trim, and Grand Touring versions include front and rear parking sensors along with a new 360-degree surround view camera system. In federal government crash tests, the Mazda CX-9 gets 4-star ratings for the driver and front passenger in a frontal impact collision. It would be better if those were 5-star ratings. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety gives the CX-9 a top safety pick rating for 2019, and because their testing parameters are a little more stringent, I would say that makes this Mazda safe for your family. You can haul a gaggle of offspring in this SUV too, thanks in part to its turbocharged 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine. Run it on regular gas and it makes 227 horsepower. Use premium and you'll get 250 horsepower. Neither of those figures is impressive, but the 310 pound-feet of torque at 2,000 RPM is what matters here. You'll be able to ride that wave of power every time you accelerate away from an intersection or down a freeway ramp. And even though my test vehicle has standard all-wheel drive, I swear I could feel some torque steer from time to time. A 6-speed automatic transmission powers the front wheels unless you get all-wheel drive. It's an excellent transmission with one exception. The manual shift pattern is counterintuitive. You push the lever up to downshift and push down to upshift. 2 driving modes are available, normal and sport. In sport mode, the CX-9 feels livelier and more energetic, but using it takes a toll on fuel economy. Most of the time I kept the CX-9 in normal mode and wound up getting 19 miles per gallon on my testing loop and 20.2 miles per gallon during a week of driving. Variable assist steering is responsive and precise, allowing a driver to place the CX-9 exactly where he or she wants it to be. The 4-wheel disc braking system could use a bit of fine-tuning in terms of pedal feel, and on a long downhill grade with 5 people aboard, they did heat up and start grumbling a little bit. Dynamically, the news for 2019 is that Mazda has retuned the CX-9 suspension. It's been several years since I last drove the CX-9, so I can't state how those modifications may have improved the ride and handling. What I can tell you is that the CX-9 definitely prefers smooth pavement. On an undulating mountain road with uneven blacktop, the SUV provided a choppy and bouncy driving experience, making me wish that Mazda would revive the Mazda 6 station wagon in the US market rather than giving us this 4,300-pound behemoth with a tall center of gravity. On the section concrete of the 405 freeway between Sunset and LAX, the CX-9's ride felt brittle with one person aboard and merely busy with the front and second row seats filled. I will say, though, that on smooth stretches of road, whether straight or twisty, the CX-9 lived up to the expectations people have of a Mazda. I really want to love the Mazda CX-9, but I don't. In fact, the CX-9 is probably my least favorite Mazda model. Aesthetically, the automaker gets the CX-9 signature exactly right. However, the devil, as they say, is in the details, and that's where this SUV's dissatisfying qualities take root. From the quality of some materials and components to my personal issues with front seat comfort, I find lots of little things about this SUV to be aggravating. Beyond that, in terms of driving dynamics, the CX-9 isn't like other Mazdas. It weighs too much and it has too high a center of gravity, and as a driver, you are regularly aware of it. With that said, the CX-9 is a roomy, safe, and stylish way to transport your family. If you really like it, then by all means, get one. Be sure to read my full review of the Mazda CX-9 at CarGurus, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. For all of us here at CarGurus, thank you very much for watching.